when it happens. Hey, we are live now. Welcome to BSB TV. Today we had, look, I'm going to share something with everyone when it will actually do that. I love it when things are a little bit behind. Ash Suresh, how are you doing today?
Marvelous. Thank you. Brisbane's put on an absolute stunner of a day again. And very excited to be here. Kevin, thank you for having me on your show.
I have to tell you, at 5 o'clock when I go to walk the dogs, or 5:30, it is still quite cool, right? It's still only 10 or 11 degrees at that stage. It warms up by about 9, but in between 5 and 9, it's cold. Just letting you know.
And thank you for somebody who's moved interstate. You know, Brisbane's just absolutely magnificent. So, and it's lovely to be part of the BSB community. So, thanks very much for having me on your channel.
No, thank you for coming along. So the reason I wanted to have a chat was about a week ago. There seems that some. I'm just going to be honest. Some dickhead business coach, I reckon, has gone out there and started to tell people what you need to do is connect with people and then tell them what you want to help them with, right? And it's the worst approach in the world. It's been happening on LinkedIn forever. Please do not pay anyone any money to let you know how to use that approach. It's crap. There's a much better approach. And the reason I wanted to get you on was because you actually used the perfect approach. And you used the perfect approach. When you reached out to me, you'd already done a number of things. So people said to me, when I put up that approach, some people did say, so Kevin, what is the right approach? How do you go out and do that in an online world if you can't get out there and do all the networking? And you actually had a really cool approach, right? I believe there's 3 steps involved. What do you reckon?
I agree. I think I am quite I get spammed by virtually like every day on LinkedIn, especially on LinkedIn and a few other channels. And I don't like it at all when people don't. It's a win-win scenario. It's like, you've got to give to get. And, I think what I like about business and when I try to approach people is that there's got to be a quantifiable outcome that everybody gets out of it. Not just a little bit of goodwill that helps, but goodwill doesn't run businesses. It doesn't pay for resources or staff or technology. So it needs to be a quantifiable outcome.
Absolutely. So there's 3 parts to it. One, the first thing you did before you even reached out to me, you'd done your research, right? And I love that. You actually knew who you were talking to. You knew why you wanted to talk to me, and you already had a plan of a quantifiable outcome, which is fantastic. Correct. So when you did reach out, you didn't reach out saying, hey, Kevin, have I got a deal for you? Because that always sounds like you're trying to sell used cars.
Yep.
Right? You actually reached out and said, hey, Kevin, look, I'm a member of your directory. So the second thing that I really loved about your approach was you had already started to utilize some of the stuff that I have for small business owners. So many people reach out to me and say, hey, Kevin, look, I can help everyone on your community. No, I'm not a member of your directory yet. I'll get to that later on. But I want to, and I've got to tell you, if you want to approach me, the very first thing you should do is go, hey, Kevin, I can see that you're trying to help small business and I appreciate what you're doing here. And there's no better way of doing that than by actually using some of those resources.
That's right. I've had so much pleasure working with people that I've met on the BSB community, right? The collection agency that my business partners with was referred by Brisbane Small Business. Right. I've asked for referrals for accountants, for insurance agents. I've asked for referrals. Like I could literally build a house and furnish it based only on referrals from BSB.
Right. Yet most people are sitting here for free, right? Most people are sitting in that community for free. And then when we talk about, hey, join the directory and then you can post into the group, like I'm a small business owner. This is my small business. And a lot of people don't get that.
No, they don't. And I think part of it comes from the fact that my initial thought when I heard of Brisbane Small Business, and this was only on a Facebook group somewhere. And I thought it was an extension of the state government, right? I think the name brisbanesmallbusiness.com.au for me felt like it was an extension of the state government. And then I joined the group, much like anybody does, on a I think it was just on a free basis to go and look and see. But it very quickly became clear that the nominal monthly fee or the nominal annual fee that it takes to be a showcase member, right, is one of the best investments that I think I can make. I mean, if my collection ratio goes from 90% to 95% because I've met somebody on BSB, right, that's paid for this whole year's subscription anyway. Right. And I thought of it as a no-brainer. I didn't even think twice before I punched in my credit card number and said I'm going to become a member. But what I have found,
so let's go beyond that. So yeah, and we do cool. And I'm sorry to cut you off, but really short time period. So then when you reached out, you didn't say, "Hey, have I got a deal for you?" You said, "Hey, how can we help the community?" And that was the third thing I learned. So you did your research, you used some of the services and things that I'm providing to show that you appreciated what we were doing. And then 3, you didn't reach out saying, "Hey, Kevin, I want to make $1 million." You reached out and said, "How can we serve that community better? Let's get together and have a chat about that."
Yep.
So
I think that
our
was really key for me.
Absolutely. And so with our discussions, what is it that you do? Let's tell everybody else.
So I run a digital marketing agency based here in Brisbane, and we focus on social media marketing, search engine marketing, SEO, and e-commerce as a vertical. So I built quite a number of very good relationships on BSB in this area. Some very, very good relationships.
Cool. So, and with what we've put together, so it took us a couple of rotations. I had an idea. We talked about that. And then we refined down to having a really cool offer for people to reach out to the members of Brisbane Small Business in a way that provides value to other members of the community as well. Yeah?
That's right. So what we spoke about, how can we structure a program that helps businesses elevate themselves, right, in the small business community. And to elevate yourself, you need to find a way to showcase what you're selling, your product or your service. And we discussed a campaign that we would do for Brisbane Small Business members, where we would help build a social media platform. We'll provide a social media platform for your member businesses to engage with the community. We said that what we would do is would make the entry price point very affordable. So people that are really busy, really don't have time, can outsource this function. And for as little as $299 a month, we will provide 10 completely curated posts in the domain of your business, and we will post those into Brisbane Small Business on your behalf, so you can elevate your profile. We also will be able to broadcast that to a much bigger audience in the rest of the world, if that's what your member wants.
Absolutely. So it's really cool, because like if I do a general digital agency and I'm looking to get 10 posts curated for an audience, normally I then have to pay a truckload for advertising into that audience to start with to complement whatever I'm paying to get that created. However, with the engagement that we already have in the community, we've got that covered. So instead of spending what would normally be a lot more than that, the minimum figure I'm normally hearing is around $450 to $600 a month for 10 posts. Okay.
Yep.
If somebody's writing the posts and doing all that sort of stuff for us. So instead of that, we're looking at $299. to help, and particularly showcase members, because to post into the group, you've got to be a showcase member, to actually utilize their membership, but to help educate the community, right? Which is what we all want to do, because if we can educate the community on what we do and help them know that we are an expert in the field, that's a faster route to building long-term relationships than just spamming everyone saying, I do social media management.
Too right. I think the value is, I think there's intrinsic value within the group. It's just untapped. I mean, I could dead set, in my view, I wouldn't have a problem generating 5 leads every month out of just Brisbane small business for myself. It's an untapped area, and it just helps members monetize their investment. I mean, it's already a low investment, and on top of that, you've got like a deal like what we're offering jointly. I think it's win-win for everybody.
Absolutely. And people are going to the website, the brisbanesmallbusiness.com.au website. We're coming up in over 100,000, well over 100,000 searches every single month. We're getting, thousands and thousands of click-throughs where people are looking for something more specific from that. And so, it's kind of a no-brainer to work, to build your profile in Brisbane. It's an easy way to do it.
It sure is. And I think, local is such a powerful market. When we think local, we buy local, we engage local, and that just broadens the benefit to the community as a whole.
Absolutely. So if you are interested in doing that, fantastic. If you're not, that's okay. Hopefully you've learned about how to reach out in a professional manner with a true win-win and win for the clients as well scenario, because at the end of the day, that's when people are going to sit down and listen to you, not by connecting and then the very next message going, hey, have I got a deal for you? Because quite frankly, all that's doing, and our audience agreed, like 99% or 97% of our audience said that really annoys me. And if you're one of the people that's after the last 3%, that's okay. Keep doing it. But you're also going to be putting a lot of people offside who further down the track could have been your customers, but don't want to be because of that initial approach.
Very 5-second point here for me is that I don't ask what's in it for me. I always ask what's in it for us. And
how can I help is a great question.
Yep.
Absolutely. So, thanks very much for your time. Thanks for helping us get back to the community about, hey, how can we formulate a better approach? Look, thanks very much for your time today, Ash.
Pleasure.
During the broadcast, I want to have a quick chat with you. Okay, I'll catch you soon.